Have you been freaking out just a little bit watching the stock market lately? You're not alone. Oh, goodness. When markets are falling, it's really easy to slip into fear and scarcity thinking. But what if I told you that true prosperity exists beyond the fluctuations of your portfolio? I am Gloria Grace Brand, founder of Align to Shine Academy, and in today's Wisdom Wednesday, we're going to explore how to remain anchored in abundance even when the world around us seems anything but abundant. And I always like to start these off with reading Unity's Daily Word because they always seem to send me the perfect message in my email. And today was no different. Here's their message. It says, prosperity is so much more than all I have or hope to get. It is a deep understanding that the world is full of abundance, and that abundance is mine to claim and enjoy. When I live steeped in that awareness, I am no longer disturbed by troubling news about the shifting fortunes of the world. Of course, I do what I must to protect my assets and provide for myself and my family, but I keep the cares and concerns of the world in proper perspective. My lasting prosperity lies in my awareness of the presence, power, and truth of God. As a divine being, I am heir to everything God is. My thoughts and feelings have creative power, which I use to affirm my prosperity. I release all notions of how my good will come to me and open myself to synchronicity. I am prosperous. And I know, especially if you're someone over 60 like I am, you might be looking at your retirement savings going, ah. Okay, so breathe. Breathe. Get centered, because I love this message today. I really do. It's, if you're alive, you've got an abundance of oxygen that is coming into your lungs every day, that you are breathing in. If you are alive, you most likely have had food and water today. That's an abundance right there. Yes, finances will come and go, and sometimes it can be very challenging to be able to not react. And as someone who used to work for the Nightly Business Report many, many years ago when it was on PBS, I will tell you, and this message was drummed into me, that you don't want to sell necessarily when everybody else is selling right now. Even though it feels counterintuitive, you want to, it's like everything in you is saying, no, I need to raise cash. And again, you're going to have to look at what that is and check if you've got a financial advisor, talk with them and see what you need to do. But I will tell you is that markets do go up and down. And even as I'm recording this, I think it's up a little bit today, but you don't know what happens until the end of the trading day and then see where things shake out. But just know that things do bounce back. And even though, again, there's lots of doomsayers out there and saying, oh, we're heading into a recession or a depression. I was trying to put the two together there, making it a repression, which is a different word altogether. And my parents lived through one of those. They were both born in the 1920s and had to deal with that. And they survived. And they were young kids, but they grew up, got married to each other, well, and then had 3 children. And were able to send 2 of them off to college. So this too shall pass is the point I want to make. So the other point I want to make is that we get to create our reality. And so if you are living in fear, then that is going to be the reality that you are going to see, and that's what you're going to create, and you're going to attract to you. So if you can maintain an attitude of gratitude about what you do have, and even if your portfolio is shrinking right now, as long as you still have some money in that portfolio, you still are abundant. So be grateful for what you have and hold that intention that it will come back up again. It will rise up again. And just think, like I said, just be grateful about all the things that you do have, because I'm sure you have a lot. If you've got a roof over your head, if you have family or you have friends, that's abundance, that's prosperity. So there's so many other ways to define prosperity and abundance beyond that, those green pieces of paper that we carry in our wallet. They're important and they help us. But they're also, their money is energy. And so again, if you want to be able to attract wonderful more of those green pieces of paper into your into your wallet, into your bank account, then it behooves you to not lose your head. Keep a cool, calm demeanor, and again, be in contact with your financial advisor, and if you need to make some adjustments, you do, but do it from a place where you are breathing and from a relaxed place where you can think clearly. Because when you do get into panic mode, our brains, we're these wonderful creatures, but we have, if you get into this fight or flight mode, you might wind up making decisions that you're going to regret down the road. And I don't want you to do that. I want you to focus again and realize that you are an eternal being. You are a divine spark. You are heir to everything God is, as it said in this daily word today. So release all notions of how your good is going to come to you. Release those expectations and just open yourself up to synchronicity. And if you need to spend time in things like prayer, meditation, journaling, being out in nature, ways that you can ground yourself, to be centered, turn off the news. Don't pay it. Don't, just kind of get a, you can maybe just focus in on the headlines, but don't dive deep into it. You're going to do so much better. And you are going to be able to, it'll be so much easier for you to cultivate that prosperity mindset, that abundance mindset that will allow you to attract more goodness and love and even, dare I say, money into your life. Oh, and I'm going to leave you with one thing before we end today, is there's an affirmation that Daily Word always gives too, and it says, I am rich in spiritual truth. I am rich in spiritual truth. That's a good affirmation to hold on to today. So I hope you got some wisdom from this, and I'll see you again next week. So have a wonderful rest of your day or evening whenever you are watching this video today.